You're listening to the Game Tenants Podcast.
What's up, and welcome to the Game Tenants Podcast, the failed adventures of two gamers and their quest for Gamecast stardom.
AKA Worthlessly Lazy. Oh, just worthlessly lazy, I think.
not so game crazy.
Also so game crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, so this is episode 110, and I am Church of the Game Grinder, and as always, joined by my excellent co-host, Jason of Corpse Flood Gaming. What's up?
What's up, man?
Huh? No?
It's been a while again.
Been a while, Focus on that worthlessly lazy.
Yeah, we're
per usual.
We're banking on that absence makes the heart grow fonder.
I
think our absence just makes people go, huh? Oh yeah, those guys.
Pretty much. The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie.
Oh well.
We appreciate all you listen.
This is just a candid conversation with me and my friend that sometimes people listen to.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
That's how it started. That's how it still goes.
It's an excuse. Guys don't like talking on the phone. We just podcast for an excuse to just chat up with your friend.
I used to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but way back in the day. Chat with my friends on the phone.
See what's up. They don't hang up on you like Quagmire.
That was when internet was just starting going, dial-up days. I probably chatted with friends on the phone up until like 99, I think.
I was always just paranoid of someone else picking up the phone and listening in. So I was just like, I just right to the details. Okay, you want to hang out? All right, I'll be there in 10. Bye. Then I talk nonstop. So it is what it is.
I guess the benefits of a smaller town.
Yeah. There's not many benefits to a smaller town. And that's becoming more and more apparent. on our most severe lockdown yet. Still.
Yes.
Can't
good old COVID times.
Can't buy anything but essentials in Ontario right now.
Hey, you guys, like I said before the podcast.
Yeah.
Pandemic's over. Mission accomplished. We're not wearing masks anymore. Everyone's like, hey, we're saved.
Yeah.
In America.
I'm fully vaccinated, whatever that means.
I can't
go anywhere or do anything extra. There's not a vaccinated section. You can buy whatever you want. You're vaccinated. It's just the same. It's just a little card I get to carry in my wallet.
Yeah.
Can I go across?
I mean,
border yet? No,
personally,
you can't do that. It's still closed.
Unlike
quarantine.
Everybody else apparently that I live around in the cities in Minnesota here, I do not think the pandemic is over. I'm still wearing my mask.
I don't care if I have to wear a mask till 2025. Can I just go do something, please? I do not give a fuck. I don't care if I'm fully vaccinated and I wear a mask. Just let me go in a place and buy a thing. Let me hang out with a friend.
Well, a lot of people.
Let me leave my district.
A lot of people might not know your Canada lockdown situations, like
the most severe yet. Like I said, it's one of those. Everything else in the store is taped off. You can't touch it. Can't buy shoes, socks, or undies.
It's happened multiple times. Even
get your food, get your medicine. Oh, we've had the lockdowns, but this is the first one where shit's taped off. We had the only 50 people at a time in the store kind of shit where you wait outside. That was whatever. But at least when I get in there, I'm able to just buy whatever. So with that, I was just like, fuck it. I'll just start online shopping more than I already am. I'm just going to pre-order these games. At Amazon.ca can suck my ass. I cannot wait to get back to .com. I already didn't like it, but now it's like they made it personal. Pre-order a game, and they're like, oh, yeah, you want that game that comes out?
Tell them about your Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, it comes out. What day did that come out? May 8th? May 7th? May 7th, right?
Yeah, something like that.
My ETA, Amazon has the expected delivery date, June 1st to July 12th. I don't know. Whenever we want to get
And
it.
that was your pre-order.
Yeah.
And then you canceled your pre-order.
And then I ordered it again, and they're like, May 24th. I'm like, still a ridiculous wait, but sooner.
Yeah, that's oh my god.
And it's been another week, another business week since I ordered, and they can't even bother to ship it yet.
Yeah.
If that was .com, they'd be like, I am so sorry, sir. It's on us, and have a $50 gift card.
Games might be considered non-essential right now.
Fuck their mothers. It's essential as fuck, man.
So that's the thing they don't understand.
I'm not doing a food podcast right now. It's obviously essential to some of us. They can seem to get everything else to me pretty fucking quick. And I was like, yeah, why am I not buying that much games right now? Like, I'm not even ordering games. This is why. I don't know. We haven't got our Amazon figured out yet. Our shipping situation. Like, you'd think I live in like Nunavut or some shit, like some
vast
far north isolated community, but I'm right on the American border. Like, it's no different. Like, there's roads and they connect to other roads. You can get it here. They just I don't know. We got like slower speed limit or something that's making everything take a month and a half instead of just like 2 days. So yeah, you're all like, oh, fucking GameStop can't get me my Resident Evil Collector's Edition. Oh, it's Sunday and it finally arrived 2 days later. Assholes. And I'm like, oh, bro, that sucks. Bet you'll still have it and beat it before I even get to try it.
Literal first world problems.
Yeah, are you playing it yet, by the way?
No.
Good.
Not
I'll
yet.
pretend it's out of solidarity for me. But I was like, oh, I can't wait to do a podcast where I get to hear about it and be like, oh yeah, I saw a video about it. I hate
soon.
You know how annoyed I get when I'm like, I've got a game ordered and it's not here yet, and you got it. I like to be part of the conversation more than sounds pretty cool. If it's a game that I'm interested in playing right away, like some games, like it's neither here nor there. I'm like, yeah, I'll play it eventually. That's no big deal. But when it's like a hotly anticipated one, I like to be in the mix of it rather than just like, yo, oh yeah, oh man, I'll let you know what I think of that when I get to play that
soon.
So yeah, so Mass Effect's gearing up to be that late too.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of playing a game. Not Resident Evil, but it's a game I call, am I going to be able to buy it in person at Walmart before Amazon gets it to me? So we'll see. So far, our lockdown is supposed to end on June 2nd. So let's see who wins this game, Amazon or Walmart. I bet you I buy it at Walmart and walk outside and I just got the notification that, oh, we shipped your copy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want it.
Yeah. Send it back.
Stop that truck, because fuck you, motherfuckers.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So let's jump into our retro game highlight then.
Got it.
Last time I talked about Blood Omen Legacy of Kain.
You did.
What you got for us this time?
Let's just reflect on Blood Omen for a second. What a cool game.
Super cool game. Great voice acting, varied gameplay, like underappreciated in many ways.
Bring it back.
Remaster. Bring it out.
I don't want to remaster. Just make a new game. Not every game has to be a remaster to test the waters. Just make another game in a series for once.
Yeah, but then or the reboot, maybe like Tomb Raider.
I don't know, just boot in the ass to someone to make a goddamn game. How hard is it when you got like money? It's just money on the table, really.
It's because of Nosgoth. Nosgoth killed the series.
Yeah, asshole.
But
anyway, I'm going with Dragon View this time.
Dragon View.
Yeah.
Super Nintendo
game. It's also an arcade game. It's kick-ass. Have you ever played it?
I have not.
It's a lot of fun.
I know a little about it. Just tell us about it.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Like beat 'em up. Just it's like one of those classic kind of Capcom style beat 'em ups. I believe it is a Capcom game. Let me double check here. It's right here on the shelf. Is it not Capcom? No, it's Kemco. I thought it was Capcom for some reason. But yeah, it's a pretty kick-ass adventure game. It's kind of, I don't know, I feel like Conan when I play it. So whenever I play a beat 'em up and I get to feel like Conan, give me more of that.
It's from Infogrames.
Okay, what's this Kemco?
They're the Infogrames was the developer, I think.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, a lot of fun.
Oh, it's of the Draken series. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's the sequel.
Oh, that's right. And it has like some like unique kind of overworld thing to it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I don't know why I said beat 'em up. I think I'm mixing it up with a different game.
Side-scrolling action, maybe.
Yeah.
Beat 'em up ish.
Yeah, I thought I remember it's a beat 'em up because I know I played it. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I got it finally at the last Midwest Gaming Classic we went to. Yeah, it's a beat 'em up. I'm looking it up here right now. Yeah, it's a RPG like beat 'em up. You like level up and shit. It kicks ass. So definitely check it out. It's better than its predecessor.
Oh, and it's kind of a pricey one these days.
Yeah, it was kind of. I got it up for a good deal when I bought it, but yeah, it was pretty up there even when I grabbed it. It's pretty bad when you can talk about like 2 years game prices. Like, oh man, I didn't know what I had, bro.
Yeah, right.
It was only like an $80 game then. It's like $300 or something now. I don't even keep it up with game prices. It's funny because like I used to be like the guy to go to when someone's like, I don't know, what would you say for this? I'm like, I don't know, I'm not crazy, so I don't know what prices are right now. Someone recently just hit me up about some games. I was like, well, I know that was about this much. Right now, I don't know, $500.
Yeah, just basically double it from
double it, triple it. Well, I don't know.
Unless
Final Fantasy VII was selling for like $90, and that was like a $20 game all day for years.
I think it was like last I knew 7, like maybe like 3-4 years ago. I think it was going for like $40.
I don't know. I've never paid more than like I
only bought it once.
I've gotten it multiple times for dirty cheap. So I don't know. It was you could buy it still from Square Enix for like $20 a couple years ago.
I mean, 9.
You'd be getting 7 was. I remember looking at one of their sales and it was still on there. Greatest hits.
Oh, it's like dirty green bar.
Mm-hmm. Still $20, but I've been seeing like greatest hits copies going for like.
You can buy 9 like currently. I think even greatest hits version on Square Enix, brand new sealed for like $20.
Yeah, and then it doesn't matter greatest hits or not.
Like they must have really thought Final Fantasy 9 was going to be a big seller to still have copies that they're selling on their website that they can't sell out of.
Are they like pricing? Are they like pressing more copies? Or
no,
what are they doing like
I don't think so.
I don't know, man. They had a lot. They obviously thought more people are going to be buying stuff like Chrono Trigger on DS and stuff too, because that was in like they had quite a few of those sales where they were selling it for like $10.
Yeah, that's how I got my copy.
And then you go into like the game groups and people are still pulling off $40 sales of it. And you're like, go on Square Enix. They have it for like $10.
Yeah, right.
People are like confusing the DS one with the Super Nintendo one. You're like, all right, whatever. Floats your boat. Paying more.
Yeah.
Support local, I guess. Support local scalpers. But I don't know, man. Crazy. Yeah, I confused myself in the middle there, but yeah, Dragon View is definitely a kick-ass game. So do check it out. Yeah, I like a beat 'em up with RPG elements rather than just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say I don't like just beating the fuck out of people.
Yeah. It's just good, Final Fight.
Shut up about Final Fight. That's not even a beat 'em up. You know, we don't talk about Final Fight unless it's a roast. I don't know, man.
I don't know either.
They just ain't good.
Yeah, there's a lot of basic ass beat 'em ups out there.
And like, to that one be like the one that everyone, it's kind of like their go-to, and you're like, there's other ones, much better ones.
Way better.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Dragview, check it out. I mean, it's pricey. I don't emulate it. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not curating your collection. Just play it however you can.
Cool. So yeah, we got some little news things to chat about. But as we haven't podcasted in like a month, like some of this stuff's like not super relevant anymore. But no.
Yeah,
still,
man.
still worth mentioning.
I hate when shit comes up. And it's not either of us to blame. It kind of goes back and forth. But like when I'm just jazzed on a topic and I'm like, oh fuck, can't wait to talk about that. And then like something holds up the podcast for like 3 weeks. I'm like, man, I barely even remember that now. I've just been killing myself.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
You gotta make your own assignment. Live every day like it's your last.
Might be. It might be. I'm not making
my
any promises.
cholesterol. What?
Yeah.
All right, anyways.
I'm not taking good care of myself, bro.
So yeah, just wanted to give a shout out to this one because I think it's kind of cool. The original Game Boy Color Shantae is now available on the Switch, and it was available digitally on the Wii or 3DS shop or something. One of those online services, but relatively, inaccessible for many years. So that's pretty cool. It's a really cool Metroidvania. Definitely recommend checking it out.
It started this huge series.
Went pretty much unknown for almost 15 years, and then
until you exclusively brought attention to it. Good on you, sir.
I think it was when they did the Pirate's Curse port on Steam, like that. Okay. I think that did it.
How are you not like getting like free copies of their shit yet? Because you must have sold a bajillion copies.
I doubt.
When all of Twitter knows, hey, this guy'll know.
The only thing I like through all these years, and it's not like it. Like I legitimately enjoyed the series. When I first got into it, it was still kind of like relatively unknown. Now it's kind of like played out in a way, but at this point, I would just hope like maybe Matt Bozen, maybe whoever runs the Way Forward Twitter accounts, like, oh yeah, that guy, he's a big supporter of this series. That's all. Just acknowledge I exist. Thank you.
There are others. I acknowledge you. Yeah, it doesn't mean nothing though.
My friends' opinions.
I didn't make nothing. So fuck this guy. Yeah, but I try. I even fucking added that dickhole. I'm like, hey, this guy getting his free shit yet? Like he's crazy over here with the monies at the Shantae items.
They
give him a fucking beer cozy or something. Fuck.
I'll say
that just he has.
I want to. I mean, it's more limited run, but like they got some crazy marketing going on. They got dollar signs, so who knows? They're like, hey, look at that sucker.
Yeah, and I realized they got dollar signs. They got quite a few dollar signs for me the other day. Speaking of which, with that goddamn Castlevania collection coming out finally.
Yeah, Castlevania Anniversary Collection now available. Boy. Open pre-order, limited run. Although why they have 4 different versions? Like I understand maybe having like a standard, like the limited that has like the extra box and a poster or something, and then like the big fancy one, but they got 2 limited editions that just have different boxes. And it's like, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool that you can choose which one you like,
Well,
why
if
not
you get
give
the
you both?
expensive one, you get both.
You know?
Yeah, you buy that expensive one, you get both.
Yeah.
So I bought the expensive one because I want that fucking shadow box.
Yeah, that shadow box is pretty sick.
And I love, me, I'm a Steelbook slut, so I had to have that. There's quite a few things.
It's a really nice set.
The only thing missing is in my criteria of badassness is a statue, but that shadow box is pretty cool. So I think I let it slide on that one.
Yeah, it lights up.
Yeah, it plays music. They haven't even said what kind of music it plays yet. They did a teaser. They're like, well, what it looks like. Oh,
it's probably going to be like
music to be revealed later.
Yeah.
They're probably working out the licensing on it.
Yeah. Or something.
Yeah.
Like, please, Konami.
Or they'll just go the unlicensed route. It'll just be some generic bleep bloop music.
Yeah.
You're like, you remember that? No, I don't. You remember? You just been playing too much bleep bloops. You don't remember all the bleep bloops.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of Castlevania,
what?
Goddamn! Season 4.
Yeah, like it was like 2 weeks. So like, hey, season 4 is out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, now it's been almost a week.
Yeah, and I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but hopefully this week sometime.
Yeah, I've had time to watch it. I just haven't had time with my wife to watch it, and that's who I watch it with. So yeah, we can't even comment on it. So at least you haven't watched it, and you're not just assuming I watch you go, dude, that part, and then wrecked it for me. So thank you for also not seeing it.
No, I'm opposite because my fiance, she's not really interested, so I just gotta make the time to watch it. And usually my solo time is games, and if I watch something like we're watching one of the shows we watch.
Funny thing is I can watch like all the streaming sites at work except Netflix, unless I'm using one. There's 5 in the office, and there's one that can use Netflix and YouTube that doesn't have those blocked, and it's a first come first serve. So a lot of the time I don't get that one. So
this is like Rochambeau. Tell them like, hey, let's Rochambeau for it.
I don't know. If I sit somewhere else, there's unused monitors that I can hook up my PS4 to. So I'm like, you know what? No, I'm good. That's cool.
Yeah, that works.
Watch a little bit on Crave or Disney Plus, and then just switch over and play some games.
Nice. Yeah. So then I got a couple things, smaller things I just wanted to shout out. Another successful Kickstarter has been released with a game, Battle Axe. Limited Run is doing a release of it right now, I think. But what I thought was really cool was that the backers actually got their copies first before anybody else could buy it. For once,
right?
Like
the people who made it possible got to play it first.
Like,
got some kind of benefit.
Yeah, like it's like 2 or 3 weeks. I can't remember what the gap there was, but so Battle Axe is it's kind of like pixel art focused. One of the pixel artists and designers for Way Forward that worked on Shantae Rescues Revenge, worked on Contra 4, Shakedown Hawaii, and Xenocrisis wanted to make this game. And it's basically like Golden Axe Gauntlet, so kind of like that, top-down action. It's supposed to be pretty challenging. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. I'm holding out to play it with a friend. So,
well, you're gonna be waiting a while because I can't get across the border, man.
Yeah,
you didn't mean me because my opinions don't matter. You were waiting for Matt Bozen to come play with you.
Yeah, right. Hey, there we go. Matt Bozen. Let's do it. Well, he has nothing to do with that game, though, but still.
Yeah, well, he's still a better friend to you than me. I don't blame you. Fuck, I suck. Okay. The reason we didn't podcast last week, I'll be transparent, is because I fell asleep super hard. Like, fell asleep like 2 hours before we podcast, which would be a nice nap, and then woke up like 13 hours later. So yeah, I died for a bit, and like no one in my house tried to wake me up. This is like well before bedtime.
I mean,
and my wife just figured I was working on something, and I was just like passed out downstairs, and everyone else just kind of migrated upstairs.
They're like, yeah.
Meanwhile, Dad's taking a 13-hour nap.
Good thing you didn't have like a stroke or something.
Yeah, well, good thing. Like, so I'm just trying to make you not feel bad. Like, nobody would miss me. Just let you know.
Oh, Jesus.
So like, oh, did that guy die? Yeah. Oh, is he in the garage? I just figured he was working on something in the garage for 6 months.
Well, the 2 weeks ago, I was just like, I don't want a podcast.
Yeah, so sometimes we have a reason. Sometimes we're just worthlessly lazy.
Yeah, most of the time. And that's why it's in the tagline.
The funny thing is, like, when it like comes, like I'll be just so stoked on it, and then it'll be like the one like where you're like you can't make it or you don't feel like doing it, and then I'm like, oh. And then when it comes to like one where we can finally do it, I'm like, I am so exhausted.
Adulting.
Yeah. Drink like 6 Rockstar energy drinks just to have mild energy.
Yeah.
Almost fell asleep during that sentence. Holy shit.
All right. So moving on, a bunch of game documentaries from No Clip and the Gamers channel, Gamers GVMERS. No Clip did a Dishonored doc, basically talking about the making of it, following up their Arcane documentary they did, which is also really good. And then Gamers, it's kind of cranking them out lately. They did like a development, like the development challenges of Alien Isolation, the rise and fall of Homefront, and then most recently, like I was like, what is this garbage? There's like smeared poop on the screen. I'm like, what the heck? I was super confused, but I was like, oh, they're telling me what this garbage is. And yeah, they talked about Metal Gear Survive and how garbage it is.
And you just sat unblinking watching this in amazement, or what?
It's just heated.
Seated.
No, I was I'll listen to what Gamers has to say. I like what they do, kind of what they do.
Did they mirror your thoughts?
They all really they really didn't say much, like, because everything is so tight-lipped. Like, we don't know like why Konami did what they did. We don't know why Kojima did what he did. Like, so it was all kind of like, here's this game, and here's what happened, and here's what we do know, and hopefully, it stays dead forever. Like, Metal Gear is done. It's done, son.
Yeah, I almost keep tagging you in things when people are like, what would you like to see? A remaster, and people are like, Metal Gear! And I'm like, no. I know one guy who would tell you to drink a knife right now.
Well, if it's just, like, if nothing else changes, if it's just, like, enhanced graphics, like, all the voices stay there and everything, it's the game, then that, because Kojima, that's, as I always say, no Kojima, no Metal Gear, period. So, I mean, technically,
they'd be petty and like they'd remaster it, but was it 5 that has him in it? They'd take him and like make someone else.
Yeah,
they'd be the only like change they'd make, like spruce everything else up, but he'd have like PS1 graphics face. Like, never even looked this bad in the original release. What the fuck? Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
Just to be petty.
As long as it's the same game, like if they just like up the graphics or something, then I can get, because it's still the masterpiece by one of the greatest game creators ever.
As long as they just pump up the bass,
turn up the bits.
All right, cool.
And then we got some more old news that nobody cares about anymore. We had previously, because this was so long ago,
holy shit,
that we had a podcast that we actually talked about Sony shutting down the PS3 and PS Vita stores.
Wait. Hot off the presses. It's been so long that they reversed it. Sony uncanceled the PS3 and PS Vita store shutdown, but it's been another 6 years. So they're like, yeah, no one's using that junk anymore. And it's shut down. That was 3 months ago. What I'm trying to say is sometimes it's a little while in between episodes.
Yeah. But,
something else is changing. And I don't know how I feel about it. My beloved Yakuza series. Did you hear about this?
Sort of.
So
I didn't connect the dots when I heard it.
So Judgment is a Yakuza spinoff. It came out about 2 years ago. And it's in the same vein, action-wise, as Yakuza, the fighting style and all that. But it's more serious. And from what I gather, I haven't actually played my copy yet because I'm kind of working through the Yakuza series proper first. But yeah, it seems like it's a more serious version of Yakuza. Like there's not as much like goofy side shit to do. It's more just like it's closer to a LA noir kind of deal where you're like, you got to solve the crimes and all that other stuff. So they're going to keep the action style with that series going forward, as it's just got announced that it's getting a sequel.
Lost Judgment, isn't that what it was called?
Yes, I believe so. And the Yakuza series going forward is going to remain turn-based, like a Dragon. And I still haven't got my copy of Like a Dragon. No, I didn't order it from Amazon.ca, but I pre-ordered it on .com at the beginning of the pandemic, and I've almost bought a copy on the other system just to have it, kind of like I did with Cyberpunk, but I never quite did. Because I figured, hey, I've got lots of other Yakuza games to play in the meantime.
Maybe you'll get it free on like PS Plus or like Games for Gold or whatever.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I almost bought it on the Xbox because I pre-ordered it on PlayStation because I'm trying to keep the whole collection on PlayStation, even though it's made its way over to Xbox now. I believe that's the only one you can get physical.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're all on like Game Pass and stuff like that now, but I don't believe you can get physical copies of the other Yakuza games yet. Even though maybe the remastered collection, but I don't think so. Anyway, so yeah, I'm a little bit bummed. I really love the action style. I like the fighting style. I'm sure I like, from what I've seen, it's like I'm not knocking Like a Dragon at all. It looks amazing. It looks like
I've heard nothing but good things.
It looks like it would be, yeah. So I'm excited to play it. It looks great, but I don't know if it's so much better that I'd prefer it to the classic Yakuza style. So I don't know. I guess I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I'm currently halfway through Kiryu's story. I'm pretty far into 3 now. It's not as fun as the other ones. It's not gripping me as much as the other ones have. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Something. I mean, I know you're not Kiryu in Like a Dragon because that's like the end of his story was 6. But man, there's just something about it. Remember when I discovered Yakuza and I was like, this is what I've wanted. This is a beat 'em up. Modern beat 'em up was what I wanted. So I think that's what kind of bums me out. I was like, oh, I finally got my wish for the modern beat 'em ups, and then they're going away. So,
well, I will say, even though I haven't played it, one thing that is kind of cool is the like turn-based style is actually like it's connected to the story. There's like a whole reason why.
Oh yeah, I know all that. So I'm like, I get it, and I'm not saying like, oh man, I wish Like a Dragon didn't, like. I'm cool with that. It'd be cool if they just kept going with what's his name, Ichiban or whatever. story if it keeps going with him like that, if they had like a different path. I don't know. I'm gonna have to play Judgment and see how I feel about it. Maybe I'll be totally fine once I play Judgment, but I was like, I kind of like the dynamic of Yakuza with the goofiness and then I do like turn-based RPGs, but I was like, oh, there's other options for that. So hopefully Judgment is a great alternative to Yakuza, and then I won't be so sour grapes about it. Because I'm like on the fence. Like it bums me out, but I'm also like, that's cool. So
it actually makes me more likely to check out another Yakuza game, where at this point I don't know if I would. I didn't love the gameplay. I love the story. Story was great. The gameplay didn't click with me. So I don't know. We'll see.
Can't hold your own in a fight. That's what you just told me.
Whatever.
You never just pick up a bike and take out 9 guys with it? That's so exhilarating.
Thought about it a couple times.
Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, I'm on the fence. I'm not all the way one way or the other, but we'll see when I get to there. Another game I'm kind of stoked on. It's kind of come out of nowhere for, as far as I've been aware, for a game that's coming out so soon, but D&D Dark Alliance is coming out in June already. And I've only just saw like a trailer of it the other day. I believe it's June 12th. And I'm not seeing anything about a physical copy. I looked up when I heard about the game. Yeah, I haven't seen anything about a physical copy anywhere. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I haven't checked again recently. But yeah, June 22nd, it's going straight to Game Pass when it comes out. So
I see it's on GameStop site.
They got a physical copy?
Yep.
Okay, well then I'll be buying that. Never mind, because I was gonna say if it's a digital only, I'll be getting Game Pass to check that out. Because I like the.
It might be a GameStop exclusive.
Another one of them shits. We'll see what I can do about that. All right. But maybe that's why I didn't show up. I think I just looked on Amazon. I was like, I wonder if I could get a copy by January. Since it comes out in June, that should give them enough time to find a copy and send it to me. But
maybe this will be my chance to jump into the Dark Alliance games. I have the other ones.
Yeah.
Got them from you, pretty sure.
Probably. What are you doing, man? You like Champions of Norath? It's like more of that.
I've been intending to finish Norath, but like
Return to Arms.
My friends, like, it's like,
those were
let's play some more of this, and they're like,
those are my goddamn games back in the day. Like,
come on, man.
Like, I wasn't into turn-based RPGs until like last gen. I finally like could muster up the want to play one. After, like, I've told you before multiple times of why it took me so long to get into the turn-based.
Yeah.
But those were like, I like RPGs, but I like those kinds. So those were my games on the PS2. I played this shit out of them all. But
nice.
Yeah, so I'm hoping this is more thing. This looks more like I'd say action RPG more than like a Diablo style.
Yeah,
isometric,
definitely.
But I'm still down with it. I love D&D games, so I expect more of this. But speaking of the original Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, it's recently been released as well, about a week ago. Week and a half ago maybe now. But not really much different, kind of just a little sprucing up. I wouldn't exactly even call it a remaster, just more of a port. But if you like that game back in the day, good news. Yeah, play that shit. It's a little more than I'm willing to pay. I'll probably wait till it goes on sale because I do still have the original game, and with not a whole lot updated on it, I'm kind of cool just not having it unless it's cheap. But if it comes out physical, that is a different story.
Yeah.
So
cool.
Yeah, happy with that. Hey, speaking of which, by the time this episode comes out, it'll probably be out next week on Blu-ray. Did you see the Mortal Kombat movie?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. What'd you think of it?
We're a little bit behind on that one too.
Yeah.
But we can still talk about it.
Yeah. So it's a super polarizing movie.
Apparently,
if you like it, you'll see a post of someone liking it. That post will be rife of comments of people going, "Glad you liked it. I thought it was shit." Like there's no in the middle. Like it was all right.
All the negative posts I've seen about it is nobody it's like nobody I'm friends with for good reason, because fuck those people. No, I'm just joking. But no, seriously, like nobody I actually know said that they didn't like it. I know one person that said that they still prefer the first Mortal Kombat movie, the original one.
I think our buddy It's Rocket Sauce hated it.
He hated it?
I think he didn't like it.
What?
I hope I'm not misquoting him, but I think he hated it.
He hated it.
I think he thought it was poop.
Jeez, Rocket Sauce.
If I'm
that I can't.
I'm not trying to break up friendships. I'm not jealous that you got to go to the Nier concert with him instead of me. But
I'm just saying, like, even the people who didn't like the movie, like, if they just don't like it because, like, oh, I don't like this kind of movie, it's like, okay, cool, I get that. But like, to just say like the movie is bad, like,
yeah,
there's nothing bad about the movie besides Cole, and Cole wasn't really bad. He was just kind of like meh, and his power was really stupid.
Yeah,
but I mean, I don't know.
It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't like downright garbage. And the people, like, I don't know, anything I've seen where people like actually explain themselves, except for just going, "Oh, it was shit. What do you expect? It's a video game movie or whatever." Like, the things they like. I watched it 3 times because I rented it on Prime. And when you rent it on Prime, you get 48 hours. So I watched it twice the night that I first watched it. And then I watched it again the next day at work. And then when I watched it the next day at work, I'd watched it after I took everyone's criticisms and watched it. And I was like,
yeah.
If you're paying attention, it kind of explains away like a lot of stuff. They're like, well, what the fuck was this? And you're like, oh, if you pay attention, they said that.
Yeah.
Little things.
I mean,
the little things were, besides Cole, he kind of stands out as like, why is he here? What's his purpose?
Yeah, honestly, he's our like generic lead that we're supposed to project ourselves onto.
Yeah,
which I will say, I do like that it wasn't Liu Kang again, and Liu Kang was kind of his own thing.
Yeah,
I guess we should say like some spoilers here.
Oh yeah, we can. If you've wanted to see it, you've probably seen it already. If not, skip ahead a few minutes. We're not going to go super deep into it, but yeah. Cole, I like that character you brought in. I'd say he's more the central character rather than Liu Kang being like the chosen one. There wasn't any. This is what I liked about it, because remember you were like, "Oh, I hope it's not just the fucking beginning origin tournament thing again," and so it wasn't that.
Yeah,
so you should be happy, right?
Well, yes, but I think it's cool how they did this, because, like, I didn't want the tournament again as the first movie introducing a series, but as a second movie, as a follow-up, I think that will actually work, and I won't be like annoyed by seeing the tournament, which is the impression. I mean, they're setting up the second movie to be the tournament, or the first tournament, or whatever their iteration of it's going to be, and I think that's kind of cool. Because it has us a little bit more committed and stakes, and bringing some other more characters.
I like that they kind of knew what you were expecting, did something a bit different. It didn't all work. Yeah. But I'm glad that they tried something different. It's kind of like when you watch a comic book movie and everything's not exactly the same as the comic. You're like, yeah, because that would be boring. Like they finally realized with Spider-Man the third time. They're like, I know how he's Spider-Man. Can we not watch that for another half a movie before we get to the actual shit? Like, can we actually just, he's Spider-Man. We know he's Spider-Man. Okay, let him fight Mysterio or Green Goblin or Venom or something. Just throw him at something to fight. That's what we want to see. We get it. He was picked on. He was a nerd. His uncle died. He got bit by a spider. Okay, go. And that's kind of what they did here. Like I said, to varying degrees of. I liked that. Yeah, they didn't do the tournament. They were, the bad guys cheated. Oh, what?
Yeah.
So you didn't get the traditional like one-on-one fights, but honestly, that would be kind of, I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of fights and
Spiced it up.
the fights are way better. I mean, they were pretty legit. I loved how they implemented like the special moves.
Yeah.
Like they weren't like super cheesy, but they like blended them in really well, and they were.
Yeah. How did you feel about the mark, the chosen mark?
The mark was kind of dumb.
You had to like manifest your powers and all that.
All that the MacGuffin.
Yeah, like that's how they got chosen to be there.
They need this thing to happen so they can do the movie. I don't like that. Like it should either be training or like it's an innate power, but not like everyone has the mark, has the power. Like Sonya, like, oh, I got the mark now. I got powers. Like, what? Like you should like practice a couple times, right?
Yeah, that was dumb. She just came in and knew what her power was. She didn't just accidentally do it like everybody else.
Well,
and she just comes in and like does a side flip and
and like I said, Cole's powers. I thought I hated them. They're stupid. His armor looks stupid, and his weapons were stupid.
You know what I thought his whole purpose was? I thought he was going to get like cut in the tournament or something, and his blood was going to like fall and hit some kind of scorpion related thing, and Scorpion was just going to be born through him again.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. That's what I was expecting, and I wouldn't have been disappointed if that happened. But the fact that like he becomes
Scorpion,
yeah, like that's what I mean. Like with born through him, like he would like just burst into flames, and he'd be like, "I've returned" or something. Like it would have been kind of cheesy, but better than what they did. And once Scorpion arrived, he needed to disappear immediately. Because the whole movie, everyone wants to see Scorpion versus Sub-Zero, and then you want it to be a fair fight. Like, I don't care that his wife's iced to the wall. Fuck off. Get out of there. Let Scorpion do that shit. That bugged me. Like we said before, like the chosen mark, manifesting their powers. It was a little here and there for me. But the fact, like, why would Cole have even had that? He was not even a good fighter at all. He was losing every fight he was in.
Well, he can take a punch.
Yeah,
he can take a punch. We're setting up his powers here.
Yeah, he was the Mick Foley of those guys. We're like, oh yeah, he can get beat up really good. He keeps getting back up. He's Steve Rogers, I guess. It was. But I thought that part basically reminded me. It was like the manifestation of the from the mark was basically the midichlorians of Mortal Kombat. So that kind of bugged me a bit. Cole not needing to be there. Not every character needed to be in there. Like I like that they kind of left some out. I don't really like Johnny Cage, so it didn't bug me he wasn't in there.
He'll be in the next one.
I'm honest. I've
like
never liked
Reiko.
Johnny Cage
Like
at all.
Why Reiko? Like who gives a shit about Reiko? Like it's like
he was in there to die. As soon as I saw him, he's like, that guy's getting.
They could have done such.
Like, he's getting
more interesting. And then like
Natara,
why they gotta do Melina dirty?
Yeah, that sucked because honestly her character was cool, but the fact that she just got like ousted.
It's just like okay.
But yeah, not even killed by the person you're fighting. That's cool.
All right.
Blindsided. Yeah. So there, like I said, it wasn't perfect, but it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
I don't know what people were expecting, like an Academy Award winner, like just like the movie of the year. It's an action
it's a movie about people.
I was expecting a superhero style movie, which is basically what you get. You get stuff where you got to have a suspension of disbelief, not go pick apart every single thing that happens. And you're like, none of this would actually happen if you're trying to make it more realistic. None of this would actually ever happen. Why are you expecting ultimate realism and stuff like this from them? People complaining about the littlest things. People are even like ripping on the way Goro looks, saying the original Goro looked better. I thought Goro looked fine.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty decent. I just think that the role, like the event where they had to go and fight Reiko in Outworld, and Goro came to their house, like they should have switched. Like that didn't make a lot of sense to me, and that kind of bugged me.
He should have he should have like.
Reiko shouldn't have been in the movie. It's like nobody.
No, I was fine. Like someone's got to die, and it'd be like if all the main characters died. So they blew their whole load in the first movie. That's what I mean.
I don't really like Reptile either. Like,
yeah, they don't know how to do Reptile in those movies. He was better than the original, at least. So
yes,
that's the way I looked at it. I was like,
yeah, it's an improvement. It's improvement. So
yeah, he kind of reminded me of that the chameleon monster from the first Monsters Inc. That was the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's basically what I thought. I was just like, oh, yeah. Monsters Inc. That's cool.
Yeah. I do like the amulet made an appearance. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. A little nod to the recent trilogy. So that leads us into some like Shinnok and
like I said, they left it open
stuff.
So like they didn't have nothing to build off of.
Yeah.
For the next one, they've got characters that haven't come in yet. They've got the tournament hasn't happened. There's more to it. Like it didn't all need to happen in one movie.
They do need to up the violence or the gore a little bit more, like more grotesque gore. Like the Kung Lao part was pretty badass, but I thought a lot of the other stuff, like the whole.
I was a little bummed about everyone. Out of everyone that died, I was a little bummed that like Kung Lao got done so dirty so quickly.
That too.
I was like, oh,
but at least
can that happen to Cole?
Yeah. I mean, like as an actor and stuff, the guy was fine. Like I don't have any problems.
He played his role
acting,
fine.
But it's like the character is just kind of lame.
It's another thing I've seen about everyone playing. They were all wooden characters except Kano. People saying Kano carried the whole movie. And Kano was all right. He did
cookie cutter just as much as anybody else.
He was a good Kano. Like that's how Kano is. But everyone else played their role the way their character is.
People just like it because like, haha, Kano funny. That's all I can relate to. Because like everything has to be like quips and shit, or people like lose. Like look at like all the remakes that happened, like Ghostbusters, the new Ghostbusters with the.
Oh yeah, women. Like all the women wanted to be Venkman. There was no.
It's all quips. It's quips. Yeah, it's like
tripping over each other to do.
When I saw when I went and saw Terminator 2 in 3D, like people were like forced laughing in scenes where like they would say lines, but they weren't like ha lines. It's like, are you people like seriously? Like that's all you can like go on in these movies? It's like quips
and one-liners,
like Marvel movies.
Or I don't understand.
God, come on.
Let's leave Marvel movies out of this, please. I like Marvel movies a lot. God damn, they're good. We can rip on DC movies if you want. Wonder Woman 84 was complete trash.
I haven't seen it.
Don't see it. Did you see the first one?
I did.
That was a good one. Don't be enticed to watch the second one though.
I'm not enticed at all.
I really liked Wonder Woman. Was one of the best of the current DC movies. And then I've never seen it's been like since the 90s since I've seen a sequel drop the ball that hard compared to the first one. Yeah. As far as I can think, like off the top of my head, when they used to just pump out another sequel and you're like, this doesn't even make sense. Like they ended it all in the first one when they do that kind of shit. You're like, oh, they just want to like cash in before people realize like this is a dumb idea. But it wasn't even a cash in. It was like 4 years later. They had 4 years to make a good movie and they just didn't. My wife, like we were watching like the first scene and my wife is like, is this supposed to be like the old Wonder Woman TV show? Because this isn't anything like the last Wonder Woman movie at all. So yeah, there we go. Let's leave Marvel out of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mortal Kombat, overall, I liked it. Not a perfect movie anyway. I'm not going to defend it like it's the best movie ever.
I'd say if you like Mortal Kombat, watch it. If you don't like Mortal Kombat, I don't know, maybe check it out if you like fighting movies where they fight each other and there's a little bit of gore.
Yeah, like it's a movie based on a fighting game.
Yeah.
To be fair, like for fighting games, this fighting game has the best lore, I think, out of any fighting game. So yeah, but it doesn't need to be exactly like the games. Like it's basically just the comic book argument all over again.
Yeah.
It's like complaining that Wolverine wasn't wearing his yellow spandex. You're like, yeah, well, that would look silly on screen. So that kind of shit. Like sometimes stuff's got to be changed a bit. You don't want to see the same story 50 times. So I'm glad that they did it differently. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Cole sucks. I agree. This whole part.
No arguments. No arguments.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on. We didn't do a community question for last week. I don't think we're gonna.
Let's keep with that trend.
Yeah, we're gonna stick with this. We're determined.
We're turning over a new leaf.
We're gonna make it happen.
With trying even less.
Yeah. So no community question this week. So
how'd you like Mortal Kombat the movie? If you even remember it, because it was like 2 months ago.
Yeah. There you go. I'm not even gonna put that in the description. Answer it if you feel like it.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts. No, but seriously, let us know your thoughts.
Shout.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what the hell's been up, buddy?
Yeah. I mean,
we talk pretty often, but sometimes
I
don't even know what you're playing until I see that you beat it.
Yeah, I kind of just, do my thing and do my just beat it tweets when I beat the games. So yeah, so last time I was getting pretty close to wrapping up the Messenger, and I wrapped up the Messenger, and it is a pretty cool game. If anybody's checked it out, stick with it. Like I said, there's a big kind of like shift in it that I think is pretty neat. Overall, I think it's a pretty cool game. I'm very, very interested in seeing the prequel game that they're coming, the Sea of Stars RPG game that I kickstarted. That's a prequel. Be interested to see how that story connects.
Is it called The Delivery Boy?
No, it's called Sea of Stars.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. And then off of your recommendation, I was like, I want to play something a little short.
Still scuffles me.
Decided to fire up some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Retro Palooza, and it is everything that you said it was.
Fuck yeah, it was, man. Wasn't it so
probably good? The best.
I felt bad.
Maybe the best.
I was like, it's a free game.
Yeah.
And I love some of these games, but I'm like, taking nostalgia completely out of it. I'm like, man, I don't even know if I care to play all those other ones again. Like
they basically it's a mashup. That it's running off of stuff. Yeah, it's the NES. It's done like the Turtles 2 or Turtles 3 in that design style, but it has like all the levels, all the bosses, all the characters, all your favorite characters from the show. It's like
every level you beat, you get like 3 or 4 characters.
I wish. I don't know. I think there might have needed to be more. Where you could like actually like
more characters?
These characters. No, more levels, more game, or like be able to replay levels or something. I don't know. Yeah, and I understand how the game was made. Basically they kind of took all these things and remade them for this game. But it would have been cool to see maybe some of the characters like get utilized, like maybe their powers like got you a different route. I don't know.
Oh, different routes like
or something. Routes? I don't know.
Kind of like the D&D beat 'em up game.
Or maybe you need like a certain character to go to a certain area or something.
Ooh,
but don't let me deter. Like the game is awesome. It's a ton of fun. All the levels, like the overworld thing is kind of cool.
Yeah, the overworld's like the first game. But not frustrating. You can't really get killed by anything on it.
Like it's just like
one foot tank things.
Just one screen, basically, too.
Yeah, and it brings you to all sorts of levels. There's not every level that's ever been in an Ninja Turtles game, but there's references. There's extended versions. There's completely original levels too. But there's even like the swamp level where you fight Leatherface or Leatherhead. Sorry. That's just straight up a Bayou Billy, the first level from Bayou Billy. I don't know if you recognize that, or if I mentioned it to you.
Yeah, I think you did.
The swamp level. Yeah, it's totally just a level from Bayou Billy. I thought that was pretty cool. Just all over. It was just an amazing game. I was expecting it to be pretty cool, and I was blown away by how much cooler than I was expecting it to be that it was.
And I thought it was pretty interesting as much as I legitimately despise Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out of their shells tour, I do think it was kind of neat that as like the end credits they threw in the Pizza Power song is like the ending credits music. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I laughed out of that too.
Yeah, lots of voice lines, and all the characters have like strengths and weaknesses. Like, it's a free game. If you
they all
got
have voice clips that sound like the original like cartoon characters.
yeah, if you got any sort of computer, like anybody running a computer these days, whether it be a desktop or a laptop, like you can run this game. Like,
yeah, if you can emulate Super Nintendo, you can probably play this game on any computer. On your Walmart ass laptop that costs $100,
and you can just go directly to the website. You don't have to go on shady ROM sites to download it. Like the guy who made the game, he has a website. You just download it. Just runs. Doesn't even install. It's super basic. Yeah, and it's a lot of fun.
Can't say enough good things about it.
Yeah. So then after that, I was like, you know what? I always talk about like these FMV games, how I like FMV games, and I haven't played an FMV game in like such a long time. So I decided to knock out one that.
Yeah, when's the last one you even beat?
Yeah.
Night Trap? Was it Night Trap? Did you play?
I don't. It's been a long time, honestly. It might have been.
Sewer Shark.
Dragon's Lair, I think.
Oh yeah, I guess.
I don't even know.
I guess that counts. Yeah.
I don't even know. But Brain Dead 13 was a game that I've basically ever since I saw like advertisement for it in a game magazine in the early 90s, I was like, oh my god, that game looks so cool, because it kind of looked like Don Bluth kind of animation from back then, and this is like a fully animated it basically plays like Dragon's Lair, but instead of being that fantasy setting, this is kind of like a goofy horror setting. Animation's pretty good. Voice acting's good. It's a super basic game, but really my only complaint about it is that, like, unless you kind of know like what you're supposed to be doing, like I could see, like, I got to a point where I was just running around in circles, and it, like, basically every time you run through a room, you gotta like redo the action scene.
Oh yeah,
which
those kind of games, just like every time you go in a room and the enemies respawn, kind of thing. You're like,
yeah, and this, like, because it's an animated game, like it takes a little bit longer because you have to do each motion, and it doesn't do any sort of prompts. So every time you get in a room, you're basically like hitting directions until it works, and then like you have to die like over and over and over, but it's like really fast. It gets you right back into it.
Oh, which is good. Doesn't have to.
Yeah, there's not like, you'd think being a PlayStation 1 game, like load times would be like atrocious, but
they sure can be sometimes.
Totally aren't. There is some disc flipping that is required, especially if you're like running like back and forth throughout this castle. But pretty cool game. I got it for a deal years ago, so pretty happy about that. Glad I played it. But like I said, it'd be hard to recommend unless somebody likes these kinds of games, and I would recommend just using a guide, even though it takes away some of that.
Oh yeah, is this the one where you said you used a guide just to?
Yeah, I had to use.
I remember Polykill. I think you've been talking about. They're like, oh, he even used a guide. This is not a guy that uses a guide.
I use guides all the time, to be honest. Yeah,
I gotta stop being lazy. Speaking of Polykill, I feel bad. They feel ignored, and I don't. That's not. Yeah,
post your beats, damn it.
They even played the sad piano song and wrote me a letter.
Yeah,
in the last episode. It's not on purpose.
Yeah. And then after Brain Dead 13, just kind of chilled out for a few days and waited for Nier Replicant. As I said, I would be playing that, and that is what I am currently playing. It's pretty cool. Having a lot of fun with it. I will say it is, if you're trying to do like, well, I don't know. I didn't know exactly what I needed to do to like get myself to a position where I can get all the endings, like kind of like Nier Automata, where there's like, this has four main endings for the like entire story. And then Replicant being the remaster, they added an additional ending, but like there's a lot of side quests, and as much as I enjoy the game, like I enjoy the voice acting, music, gameplay, everything about the game, this game does not respect your time. It's really grindy if you're trying to do all the quests, and they make you do a bunch of fishing. God damn it. like, good thing I have a lot of patience and I really enjoy the game and I really want to see this through.
Like actual fishing?
Like actual fishing. Like in Nier Automata, like they only made you do I only think it might have been like one quest or something. And this
and you got your bot to like automatically pull the shit out.
I had a hangout weekend a couple weekends ago where I had Justin come over and hung out over the weekend. And I think it was Saturday, like all Saturday. That's like all I did was like, it was like 5 hours of fishing.
And did you do this whole quest and be like, fucking catch that fish, bro?
He was playing. I had a second TV going. He was playing some other stuff, but he can back up my complaining about the fishing, which maybe it wasn't so bad because I had a friend hanging out, but like even like a lot of side quests, it's like just back and forth. Like you'll do one quest line and it'll be like, oh, run over here, okay, oh, run back, oh, you need to run back, like. Holy shit. It's really annoying. And I remember hearing some things about that, but don't let that detract you because you don't have to do all that stuff. Even to get the endings, which I didn't really know. But gameplay wise, like I was under the impression that this game played nothing like Nier Automata. But it plays exactly like Nier Automata. It's fast paced, like your book, the Vice acts like the pods and does magic and shit, and you got a bunch of different weapons. And
I told you it played pretty similar. Like I played a little bit of it back when I got it for $1 at Walmart.
Yeah. Everything else about it, I dig in quite a bit. I have yesterday yesterday at the time of recording this anyways, I beat the A ending and I'm almost through the B. Like I just got to do the final part for the B route. And then I think the endings
the same way as Automata, where you keep playing, you load your file back up and start playing again?
Yes.
Okay, so some people might miss it again and go, oh, no, I got A ending, I beat it.
Well, so that after you do the A ending, they're like, hey, keep playing to see more of this specific thing. And if I saw that, I'd be like, oh yeah, totally. I totally want to do that. And they do, like, right away. They throw some new stuff at you, but it's not really a spoiler. I won't say the content, but it's kind of weird. Like the first playthrough is pretty straightforward, and it seems like it's the second route and onward where it starts getting like Yoko Taro'd out. So like right away they throw you into basically like a text like story, like talking about one of the characters and situation and dialogue and stuff. It's all text based. Like this whole like little chunk. It's not like super long or anything, but they start doing a lot more of that stuff in the second route, giving you another perspective. It's way more abridged than how Nier Automata did, like its B route. Like B route, like was almost replaying the entire game again, but abridged. But this is like way more abridged, especially because you're not doing all the side quests and stuff.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, I just blasted through the B route, and like I said, I'm pretty much at the. And
so I'd say probably about Automata, my least favorite part was probably the B route because it felt so similar. I was like, why do I have to do this exact stuff again?
I mean, at least they give you the different, they give you the different perspective.
It's a bit different. But
and that's kind of, they do this too, but it's a lot more brief. So that's kind of interesting to kind of see some of these similarities. And of course, like once you get to that ending A, it's like when they start throwing like all these extra like angles and curiosities at you. They like, what, for me anyways, they want me to keep going and see, what's this all about and what's this going to lead to. So looking forward to finishing it, really enjoying the game. So I'll share final thoughts on it next time.
I wonder if this could be another game. Will my copy show up before we do another episode? Yeah,
there you go. And then just happened over the last like 3 weeks in a row, basically. I got a bunch of collector's editions showed up, so I did some unboxing videos. as much as I know everybody loves unboxing videos because I get such high watch numbers on those, but I did an unboxing
I'm in your first 5 of the watches on those every time.
And I appreciate you. DJ Khalid GIF insert here. I appreciate you. So I did an unboxing video.
The only purpose of rappers is for comedic gifts.
Basically. So unboxing video for Nier Replicant White Snow Edition. I did an unboxing for the Mass Effect Legendary Cache. And an unboxing for the Resident Evil 8 Collector's Edition. So check those out if you are interested. I will say I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but I tried to do a little bit more, show you some game footage, do some B-roll, showing the stuff, not just sitting there, hey, and holding up all the stuff. I used to do that, but I was like, people don't like these anyways. Maybe I can just make them a little bit more interesting. I put way too much time into an unboxing video. To be honest, I put like 3-4 hours.
It's appreciated.
So I hope people
it shows, man. It shows that you.
And I share thoughts. I don't just talk about that. I talk about the games.
Don't go, look what I got.
That's why I always say in my description talks about the collector's edition and related ramblings. So I talk about the game and my experiences with it and what I'm excited about and what I know about it. So, and I appreciate when people watch my stuff. So thank you.
You're welcome.
But besides that, that's what I've been up to. Been a little busy, I guess. All kinds of stuff. Watching other non-video game stuff, but we're not talking about that today. So, what have you been up to?
Talk about that. You can come on the Super Neighbor Bros podcast.
There you go.
And we have equal troubles putting an episode out there. It seems to. One of us will be busy on alternate weeks, or they seem to want me to work every weekend lately. So it's made it a little difficult for Chris and I to get together to do it.
You had a good little spurt there.
Yeah, I was trying to keep it going. Like, usually, previously, if an episode didn't get up, it was because I had no time to edit it and get it up. But I've been pretty firm on getting it out there. Do it up. Don't let it sit. The longer I let it sit, the longer I'm gonna let it sit, is the way I look at it. So I have to be very devout and purposeful of I will get that out right away. So that's how I was trying to do. Might be getting a new episode out this weekend. We'll see how everything goes. The other job's being a little bit unpredictable at the moment, so it's unfortunate.
You did have an episode since the last episode of the Game Tenants.
We did. Yeah, that was the one where we had guests on that one, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we haven't had one since then. That seems like so long ago already. It was so long ago because it was since the last episode of this podcast. Goddamn.
Yeah,
I think it was only a few days after. Yeah, we had Do You Nerd.
Tom Lacey.
Previous guests from this podcast.
Yeah,
and they it was fun to have someone on there who also collects action figures and stuff. So I didn't just feel like I was putting everyone to sleep, going, look at all the toys I bought. She's like, I bought toys too, and I'm like, yeah. It was awesome. So it was cool. So
you gotta start every toy segment of Super Neighbor Bros with inserting the clip of your daughter making fun of you.
It's gonna be in the next one. Oh my god. I got a personal attack from my own child. She was just sitting there wearing my hat and my sunglasses and roasting me with some action figures.
Was it an attack or was it because
if
somebody did that to me, I'd be like, you know what? I'm not going to argue with that.
It was absolutely. I felt attacked because it was so legit and accurate. That's why I felt attacked.
Yeah,
it wasn't smearing my name. It wasn't calling me down.
But it's just the cold, harsh reality.
Yeah, I was like, I'm looking at a mirror right now, and I don't look like what I see, because that is exactly me. So stay tuned.
Yeah,
episode 17 of Super Neighbor Bros will in fact include this clip.
There you go. Look forward to it.
Yeah. So hopefully we can get one up this weekend. I think as of recording, I don't have a shift on Saturday night, and that's usually when we record. So
Nice.
hopefully we can make that happen. Thankfully, I haven't got a ridiculous amount of stuff since the last episode, so there won't be a extended toy pickup, as there sometimes is when it's been like a few weeks. But yeah, there's a few. There's quite a... No, the more I think of it, the more stuff I've gotten since the last episode. So I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, the toys, Amazon.ca will get me toys pretty quickly. It's just the games that they, I don't know where, they must keep them on a hard to reach shelf or something. But
I'll have to tune in for that.
Absolutely.
What you been playing?
I've been playing a whole lot of stuff. I don't remember what exactly is since the last episode, but I've finished Yakuza Kiwami 2. I finished Hades.
Ooh.
And I'm glad that had more to it than it originally seemed at the beginning, but I was a little bit aware of that anyway. At first I was like, I like it. I don't know how much I like it though. I don't like starting over from the beginning. But
they did a really cool, like, how they kept the story going. Like, I think that's the coolest part about it.
Yeah, so like it kept the frustration down a little bit. You're like, fuck, can I heal somewhere? Where's, like some of the sections there was just like, is there anywhere to heal? But once I played more, I got more into it, liked it more. Yeah, it was. I see now why it was one of the games of the year last year for the nominations, because that was the only out of all the games that were nominated last year. That was the only one that I hadn't played yet. So I ended up really liking it. I'm glad I played through it. I kept going with Yakuza. I'm pretty far in Yakuza 3 right now. I keep meaning to start the Doom Eternal DLC, but as of yet I have not.
Same. I'll get to it.
I did a bit of wrestling. So RetroMania Wrestling finally came out. And I bought one of those Xbox cards you buy at the store, a $50 one, because I don't know, it was like a $32 game or some shit in Canada. And I promptly lost this card for almost 2 weeks, because I bought it like pretty much right when the game came out or just after. And I finally found it in the same place I looked 5 times naturally when I wasn't looking for it anymore. And I was like, oh, cool. So I redeemed the card, went to buy the game, and it just said, play. I was like, oh, I already own it because of now. Oh, of course. Then I thought about it. I was like, of course, my friend who buys all the wrestling games and account shares, like we account swap or whatever, account share, whatever you call it. So whatever he buys shows up on my Xbox, and likewise. So it was there to play for free. So I just have $50 to spend on whatever I want on the Xbox store now, I guess. And I really liked it. Previous to playing it, when I was kind of pissed off that I wasn't getting to play it, I played WWF Superstars and WWF WrestleFest, which is the what this game is a spiritual successor to. And it was awesome. It was a real blast to play. But I gotta say, man, I friggin' steamrolled that game. It's got to be the easiest game to get all the achievements I've played in a long time. If it wasn't for no, I like that once in a while.
It respects your time.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's very, it's kind of basic as far as wrestling games go, but it's really enjoyable. The story mode was pretty brief. Then there's this other mode called 10 Pounds of Gold, which is basically just like I guess it would be like the wrestling equivalent of a Mortal Kombat tower.
Okay.
Where you wrestle up through different matches. There'll be cage matches. There'll be a 3-way match where you have to eliminate all the other people. And then there's a fatal 4-way where the first pin wins. And that one is the only time I lost a match was one of those, because if you were locked up, the other guys would just like pin each other and you couldn't break up the pin. And that was the only thing I found frustrating, is like you have to just kick the shit out of a guy. But it seems like when you beat the other guy down, they'll automatically just like look at another guy and start fighting him. So then you have to whittle another guy down, or like try to like get him to fight you again. So you can, all your progress of kicking the shit out of guys towards something besides the other guy winning. Anyway, excellent game. I finally got to see this Too Many Games arena, which is naturally my favorite. A bunch of people we know, especially our buddy John Riggs.
Heck yeah.
Being in there. It was cool to see that. It kind of made me wish I was bigger on YouTube so I could be in a game. That'd be super awesome. But well, maybe there'll be a sequel and I'll be less lazy. But yeah, excellent game. It went. I think it achieved just what it was going for. I believe they're going to be putting out like add-ons and stuff. I'll probably check those out, especially since I didn't have to pay for the main game as I intended. But yeah, the only thing that really took a while is that 10 pounds of gold mode. You had to play through it with it. The achievement says 5 different wrestlers, but that's bullshit. It's actually 6 different wrestlers because I didn't get it when I did 5, and I was like, oh, what? And then I did it one more time and it worked. So
weird.
Anyone going for all the achievements in that game, that's about it. I would have beat it in one. I would have beat it and got all the achievements in one sitting if that was the case. But yeah, I did, I think, 3 more run throughs to get that last achievement. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm glad I played it. And I'm glad I brushed up on the other games before it so I could kind of respect what they were going for more. I always remember playing that game back in the day and enjoying it. So yeah, it was cool playing the Road Warriors. I think they were definitely my favorite to play. It'd be cool if they could have like a create wrestler in there, but I understand why there isn't. I always love the create wrestlers in a game, but there's some pretty cool characters and all that. So yeah, definitely check it out if you like wrestling games. I also beat what's that other wrestling game? It's a wrestling game on the Switch. The name is escaping me right now. Something I don't remember. I don't remember at all. But it's only on the Switch. It's something. I don't know if it's like something Impact Wrestling or something. But anyway, I started playing it about a month ago. It's like a half janky on purpose wrestling game where all the wrestlers are obvious, like, oh, that's obviously Hulk Hogan. And the guy's name's like Bulk Jogan or something.
Oh, yeah, I saw something about that game.
Yeah, I think I showed it to you when I was playing it at first. Anyway, if I remember the name, I'll bring it up next time. But I beat that game too. It was more challenging, but yeah, like it was the fun kind of jank where you're like sometimes you like suplex a guy and you'll like go flying way farther than intended. Like you'll fly right out of the ring and you're like, whoa, but I didn't slam me that hard. The hardcore matches are just all over the place. It's just a pile of weapons just sitting there. It was a riot. It was kind of just what I needed in between the games I was playing at the time. I didn't play all these wrestling games back to back, but it's been that long since we had an episode. Played a few more arcade games. I will update all my beats. I'm going to do a separate beat thing so that no one accuses me of just trying to cheat. I don't know, because I don't think I need to cheat to be the poly killer. I don't want them to think I'm counting all these towards one episode of polykill. So I'm going to have a disclaimer, like these are what I beat before. These are what I beat during the current allotted time. But yeah, I don't know. I beat Nightmare Creatures, which was the game I got in the last backlog roulette on episode 16. This was a game I had played before. I had gotten significantly far in, but I've never beaten. And it was like, that's why it's the only game on the list, I believe, that I've played for more than just like a few minutes. Like under an hour, basically. But I played this one pretty significantly, but it's actually a lot longer than I thought it was. And I still love it like I did back in the day. It's obviously aged, but the things I loved about it then I still love. just an excellent game. It's the first game I remember playing on a console where there was like dismemberment and stuff, and that's what I just loved. And I actually started playing the Dreamcast sequel. So, and it is equally fun. I'm enjoying that a lot too. Actually, when I'm home, that's kind of been my go-to lately. I've been playing. I brought my arcade stick to work, and actually, my coworkers and I have been playing some arcade games. So that's pretty fun. And then, Switch and PS4 is basically at work. Xbox One is more at home, and I've been playing some Dreamcast. So I'm a little all over the place. I can't remember everything right now that I've beaten, but it's been kind of all over the place. But I've been kind of sticking with the longer games. Like I said, I wanted to do a few longer games, so I was kind of why I started. Wasn't trying to be a hiatus from Beat Tweets, but I was like, someone else can be the Poly Killer for a while. It's not something I like actually really go out of my way to. I've got to beat 15 games this week because I'm not gonna be the Poly Killer. If not, nothing like that. But like I do like to play a short game. But sometimes I'm like, man, I collect these long ass games. I should start playing some. So I like to go on a little bit of a tangent and play some long ass games. So yeah, I feel like I've been getting there on that. And I told you, I don't think I mentioned on the podcast, but I'm gonna try to beat the main Yakuza series before the end of the year. So I'm about halfway now. So there's 7 in the Kiryu story. And I'm halfway through 3, so I'm pretty much exactly in the middle right there. So I think it's doable. If in the last, like, I don't know, month and a half, I beat 2.5. And I've not been running through these games either. I intended to when I started the second one, Kiwami 2, I mean. I was just like, okay, don't get snagged up on all this side shit. Don't get snagged up on all these mini games. And then it's like the Mafia, man. I try to get out and they just pull me back in. So I guess, the Yakuza is the Japanese Mafia. So it's on brand. I love me some Yakuza. So yeah, 3's not pulling me in as much. The story is pretty cool. It's got a different tone. I don't know, just spoiled by the things they did for Kiwami 1 and 2 and 0. Feel more like they feel like newer games. Like 3 remastered feels like they basically just slight graphically upgraded. So I actually feel like I'm playing an older game when I'm playing the third one than when I'm playing. So that's, I don't have to say disappointing. It's not a bad game. It's just different.
Yeah.
Different. So
cool.
Yeah. We'll see.
All right.
Sorry, we were super long-winded, but yeah. And I didn't have a list this time, so that might have even been shorter than usual. I don't know.
Sure.
But
all right.
I did have to talk about a few of those games there.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. So we'll shout out some games coming out here in the next couple weeks. I know we could probably do the whole month, but all the games that big ones that came out, everybody already knows about.
Well, the ones that are gonna
Resident Evil Village. I gotta stop calling Resident Evil Village Resident Evil 8 because it's Resident Evil Village. It's not Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, well,
everybody knows what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah,
Mass Effect, of course. Got Days Gone PC port. People are pretty stoked about that.
Some people are mad about that.
Yeah, it's like,
I don't know, people that want to keep the PlayStation's horn and have to list off every exclusive.
Yeah.
Every time you're like Xbox, they're like, "Oh well, where's your Days Gone and your this and that and blah, blah." Just like just like video games and shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Next week on the 25th, Biomutant's finally coming out.
Finally.
I got a collector's edition on that I got for half off on Amazon because they were like, "Hey, we want more people to pre-order our game."
I was looking at that game, I feel like 3 years ago. Yeah,
it's been a long go. I've had it on pre-order for a year.
Yeah, like I you know what? I'm not going to rule it out. I might have that on pre-order still.
I mean,
I'm pretty sure my
collector's
oldest
edition was $60, so you probably did order it.
Yeah, I think when I ordered it, it was even cheaper than that. If I did, because remember thinking of ordering it, because it was like regular 120, right?
Yeah,
I remember that being like stricken out. And I think it was like 40 or 50 for like a long ass time, and I was just like, maybe, but is this game even really coming out? So I won't be too surprised if when I can finally get my mail across, buy Mutant Collector's Editions in there. Crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
But I remember being like, this looks sweet. And then being like, I guess it's not happening. Because as far as I remember, my oldest pre-order dating back to when you could actually get that 20% pre-order discount on Amazon is Metroid Prime 4. I think that's the only game still, because when I pre-ordered it, it was just
it's gonna be a while.
It was just the logo. They didn't have any info on it. I was like, I'm already in. So yeah, it might be in there too. But I won't get an extra 20% on that because long before that was they got rid of that for collector's editions. So if I see a random 40 come out of my account, I'll be like, oh, I think I know what that's for.
Yeah. So, only other game that's really jumping out to me is Wonder Boy Ashen Monster World at the end of the month. Yeah, there's lots of other stuff, lots of ports as always. Like things are getting shuffled around to different systems, so that's good.
Well, of course, there's ports. Games got to come out on the Switch, don't they?
Yeah, right. Basically,
without even looking at the list, I'm just like, yeah, probably.
No Switch port, no buy.
Yeah. I'll never tire of ragging on that.
Yeah, always. So real quick, I'd like to shout out the going-ons of the Cartridge Club. So
what's going on?
Last month, they played Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. That episode is now available to listen, hosted by the Q Dogs, and it was a lot of fun.
I did play that last month.
Fun listen. Yeah.
I completed mine. But yeah, I talked about it on the last episode, so
yeah.
That's the only game I remember talking about, so
yeah, so podcast is available. Definitely check that out. And then the Cartridge Club for May is playing ActRaiser, which was selected by your co-host and our friend Chris, the old S Retro Gamer, who won the opportunity to choose the game of the month for May during the Cartridge Club Extra Life charity stream back in December. So he picked ActRaiser. So ActRaiser is being played this month.
Everybody was surprised.
Yeah, right.
Like, ActRaiser, really? Are you the same guy?
It's cool seeing a lot of people playing along, a lot of first timers. So
yeah,
be interested to hear how this podcast goes.
Yeah,
and then it sounds like Quick Save Club is on a hiatus at this time. Buried on Mars has gotten a little busy with a lot of his ongoings. He has his own podcast and life duties, so he had to step down as one of the hosts, and then they've kind of gone on hiatus. Not done, but I'm not sure when the next episode will be. Currently it is mods month still, so it's like play mods, any mods in games, and we'll just talk about mods and stuff. That's what they're doing. So
okay,
so that's still going on, I think. No official announcement that they've ended it. So
I'll get on ActRaiser right away here too.
Yeah,
I didn't forget about it, but
if anybody is,
maybe I'll just bring my hacked SNES Mini to work and
And for anybody who is not going to play along or knows about the game and wants to hear somebody talk about it, or you want to know more about the game, I actually did a review of ActRaiser a few years ago. It's a pretty decent little review.
Fake news.
Excuse me.
That's just your rebuttal. You didn't have anything. You're like,
yeah,
fake news this motherfucker.
That's all I had. So so then I guess besides Yakuza 3, what you're gonna be playing next couple weeks?
Oh, you know what? On the same disc as Yakuza 3 is Yakuza 4. Maybe I'll just keep rolling. Keep on trucking, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I threw in the bag, and I intended to finally finish off in the vein of Yakuza, Fist of the North Star, Last Paradise. So, I don't know.
Cool.
Maybe if I get tired of traipsing around Kamurocho, I'll do that.
You can do some.
That's one thing I got to say about. By the time I was done Kiwami, I was really tired of running around Kamurocho.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's largely why they're switching up the style, because, like, shit, man, we got like 8 games like this. We're gonna mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, like I don't know. They got a different area in 3, and I'm hoping they kind of switch it up more, because I'm like, oh, this is good. This is very welcome. Because Yakuza Kiwami, it's just strictly Kamurocho, couple outside areas, small areas where you go to like their base and stuff like that, little small things. But 2 goes back and forth between the same 2 areas that were in 0. So that kind of switched it up a bit. At least you're like not in the same area the whole time. But I'm getting kind of sick of Kamurocho. But like the way, at least I know where everything is in a way, so that's good.
Yeah.
And they change it up a little bit. Like you can tell like time has passed and stuff. It's not super lazy, but you're like at the same time you're like, is this how they managed to have so many of these? And not having to make so much different stuff. But I really gotta say, 3 has it to a lesser extent. But the stuff that they added in Kiwami 1 and 2 really like builds on 0, like with 0 in mind and stuff, and like the way they reference back to it, and characters that you just randomly see. They don't even like announce themselves like, remember me back in the 80s and stuff. Like it's really like, oh, that chick. Like it's really cool, and that's what I really enjoyed. The amount of stuff that's like. Yeah, I don't know. It's for like fans of the series, really. Like you'll remember them barely, even if you're a fan of the series. But then you'll be like, once you finally realize shit, you're like, oh, that's cool. And yeah. So that's why I think what bummed me out about 3, just this is a small tangent, sorry, but some characters don't look the same. So like, oh, we got to go see that guy. That guy's in the hospital from the last game still. And you go see him, and you're like, that ain't the same guy. Did they give him like unplastic surgery? Because that don't look like him. He looked a lot nicer before. Did they really beat him that bad? Yeah. So yeah, that's what's kind of taking me out of 3. I think a little bit. I'm not feeling the strong ties to the other games as much, but story wise, it's there, but kind of. Visual wise, and the amount of references aren't like kind of added on and built in as well. But maybe the 3 going forward will kind of branch together as good as those other ones did. But let me shut up about Yakuza now, before this just becomes the Yakuza podcast. You just hit stop and start. We'll just do a whole Yakuza episode.
Yakuza.
Love it.
That's all that matters.
There you go.
Yeah, so I guess for me, finish up Nier Replicant, Resident Evil 8, and then Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Booyah. Well, probably aren't going to happen in the next 2 weeks, but might happen in the next podcast, before the next podcast.
Hey, you know what? Let's try for in 2 weeks again. Let's not try, but let's try to try.
Try. Do the old college try.
No. Just the Simpsons try to try.
Okay, let's try.
That's our style.
Yeah.
The old college tries for neither of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I wanna plan on playing those, because when those do show up, I do plan to play them.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna only bank on games that I know I have until they'll show up. So
yeah. Cool.
It is what it is.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm going to let everybody who's listening know how they can reach us if they would like to get a hold of us. And I hope you do. So, of course, the podcast is available on YouTube, SoundCloud, podcast apps, and Apple Podcasts. So pretty much any way you listen to podcasts, you can look us up, the Game Tenants Podcast. And then if you want to get a hold of me, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as The Game Grinder. And Jason on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as Corpse Flood. Hit us up.
Do it.
Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah. If you also hate Amazon.ca, get at me. We'll just start a hate group. Amazon. Fuck those guys. I never thought I could love a company, then also hate it. It's like I hate its brother. It's like, you're pretty cool, but your brother's a fucking dick.
There you go. You could be one of those people that run those like parody Twitter accounts, and you could be like, Amazon CA sucks, and like every post is like a very shit situation because how crappy they are.
It'll actually be like a mirror of the Internet Explorer. Like maybe Amazon.ca runs on Internet Explorer. Did you ever see that Twitter account that's like, it'll make like a really, really, really late reference of like, yeah, let's go, Area 51. It's like 2 months ago.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I have to look that up.
It'll basically be that.
I'm going to have to look that up.
Like, yeah, that brand new Mortal Kombat was good. And it'll be like Mortal Kombat 9 on Xbox 360.
I think I just found it.
Yeah, it's good times.
It's Internet Explorer parody at fastest_browser.
Yeah. Yeah. So they'll make a.
Oh yeah.
Like the pandemic will be over for 3 months and they'll be like, oh no, what's happening to our world? So yeah, basically I think Amazon.ca runs on Internet Explorer.
Yeah.
And their whole ordering system runs on a Commodore 64 or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
If you're not using Internet Explorer and you want to get a hold of us, you can get a hold of us right now. If you feel like taking a long ass time.
Instant gratification, usually.
Yeah.
So yeah, hit us up. And then, that's going to do it for this episode of the Game Tenants Podcast. Thank you very much for listening, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye. Real followers.